What's up, guys? So we're here and checking out the BSLT price today, down under 18 cents. We are at 17 cents, and we've got a lot of people that are now starting to question, why is the BSLT price going down? Why is the BSLT price so low? What's going on? I mean, it should have been expected that the price would go down. It's simple economics. There are more sellers than there are buyers. You always have to ask yourself this question: who is buying the token? So, as of right now, what is the purpose of buying the token? Right? There's been no new content for several months. They've rebalanced a couple things, but other than that, they've only launched a new server. So what's the point of buying BSLT? Anyone that wanted to buy BSLT has already bought BSLT. So there's nobody who's like, I'm going to buy it right now. The only people that are buying BSLT at this current moment are the people that think that the BSLT price is too low and that it's going to go up in the future. Right now, there's not that many people that think that. People are waiting for the 15-cent BSLT price part. But there's also another very, very big reason why the BSLT price is going down. We are almost at exactly 1 year of Archeworld. There is a 1-year lockup period on partners and employees from the game, from XL Games, from partnerships that they did before the game launched. And we don't know exactly when that 1 year started. So it could already have happened that the lockup period has ended and the people that have all these hundreds of thousands of BSLT from bonuses and partnership deals can now sell, or they are going to be able to sell on September 1st when the official 1 year of the server launches. So more likely than not, though, some of these have had their 1 year lockup period ended, which means that they are free to sell their token. They got these tokens completely for free just via partnership or working for the company as bonuses and compensation and things like that. So it makes logical sense that these kind of people would sell a bunch of their BSLT after that lockup period ends. They may not sell all of it, right? But that is a big, big factor. So I do expect actually a sudden price surge, or price decrease, I should say, of the BSLT. I'm actually hoping for this to happen myself so I can pick up some really cheap BSLT. But I don't want it at 15 cents. I would like it to see BSLT at like 5 cents. And then once it reaches around 5 cents, then I'll go buy like $5,000 worth of BSLT. But personally, I do think that the BSLT price will continue to decline until we get a major content update, which is the Ocean that is coming up soon. So when the Ocean update appears, if the Ocean update is actually a good, fun update where the players enjoy this, and it doesn't really matter about the player base, it matters about the top 10, top 20 players in the game. So the people that have 18, 19, 20,000 gear score, those are the players that matter for this update, because those are the players that have been willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars. And in the case of the top players that are 22, 23, 24,000 gear score, those are the players that have been willing to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if those players see fun and enjoyment and excitement in this update, they will once again probably spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, which means the price will surge once that happens. But again, we always have to be cautious of this BSLT lockup period. 1 year is very, very dangerous for the BSLT token. We've talked about this before the game launched. This was always going to be a very, very dramatic time for the token because we don't know when that lockup period ends. So there's going to be an incredible amount of selling pressure from that lockup period in the partners. And again, we don't know exactly how many tokens they had. We don't know the arrangements, the deals that were made. None of that stuff is public information. You can go check out the wallets and you can try to deduce and figure out what wallet has what if the lockup period is ended. That is all on the Bora scope. So you can bore a scope and you can go and do some deep dive research on that stuff. But, you know, yeah, like we don't know half this information, and no one knows besides XL Games. XL Games also is constantly selling their profits from the server. They get hundreds of thousands of BSLT every single month from auction house sales, from rental sales. So they have a lot of tokens. So they are constantly doing selling pressure on the BSLT token until we get new updates, new content, or a reason for people to buy BSLT. The price is going to continue to go down, right? Another thing that could help and raise the price is if we get some events that are like, hey, you need BSLT for this. Like the last event that was Archeum based, some people spent BSLT to buy Archeum, which then helped raise the price temporarily, which is not what you want. You want a constant increase in the price. You want the game to be better, to be more exciting, and to be more fun for the top tier players that are willing to spend money. It does not matter if the free-to-play players are having fun or not. The free-to-play players, by definition, do not pay anything and do not actually benefit the token price. The free-to-play players are actually siphoning the token and decreasing the token price. They are playing the game, they are earning items and resources, and they are selling those things and then cashing the token out. If they are not upgrading their gear and progressing their character, they are simply selling everything they get to make money, which that puts more selling pressure. It's not a lot because the free-to-play players are making, 10 to 20 BSLT a day or something, and so that's not a lot of downward pressure. But they are just downward pressure on the token price. When you get hundreds of thousands of them, which thankfully we don't have hundreds of thousands of free-to-play players. We have a few thousand free-to-play players, I would say, maybe 10,000. But the more players that you get that are free-to-play and kind of leeching off the token, trying to make money out of the game and do this completely free-to-play, the token price keeps going down. This is where we're also seeing a massive anger and frustration with the player base about bots and people that are using macros and 24/7 farming, etc., like that, like cheating, right? Because they are siphoning the token and draining the token price down, because all they're doing is constantly farming items, selling the items, cashing the item out, cashing the BSLT out, putting selling pressure on the token. So there's a simple solution. You're supposed to go kill those bots and farmers, right? This is a PvP war game, and people don't seem to realize this. They always come back with, well, they're bots, they're going to come back 24/7. It's pointless. Well, it seems like they've already beaten you in this war. They are farming, they are doing their thing, right? And your job as a player is to go kill them. But you don't want to do that because it's not profitable or it's not fun for you, or you can't kill them, right? So this is where it all goes back and forth. This is a war game. People are going to be farming nonstop, trying to make money, because it's also a play-to-earn game, and you can do it as a free-to-play player. There's nothing wrong with a free-to-play player actually coming in the game and farming 24/7. Yes, using illegal programs and things like that, or against the rules, and it should be punished. So if you are going to complain, the complaint should be that XL Games needs to have harsher, more restrictive punishments on these players. They should not allow, the song bots. They should not allow people to be logged in for 24 hours a day, or even, like 6 hours a day without any Captcha checks. And they do have Captchas. They do have some anti-botting programs in there. Just the 24/7 botters have figured out ways to get around this, or the Captcha doesn't hit song bots, for example, things like that. So it is a big constant war, and yes, like there are bots, there are song bots, there are issues that are going around, but players have options. You can kill them, and you can also obviously complain. We have a social media support group going on Twitter. People are complaining to XL Games, Twitter, and also the boss, Martin Lee Chow, I think is his name. And so it's getting some traction on social media. There's several hundred people that have spammed the Twitter account from Archeworld and the big CEO boss, be like, hey, we want stronger enforcement on these bots and these macro users. So this is a great movement. Go support the movement if you want less bots and macro users. Of course, they will never be able to 100% eradicate bots and macro users. There's always going to be some little people in there. But yep, people just want stronger enforcements, and I'm all for that. I have proposed like a Captcha where, every hour or two that you're logged in, you have a Captcha. It doesn't matter if you're playing the game normally or anything like that, like a Captcha appears. And one of the cool things that I thought about this was that, like, we have a crime system, we have a punishment system in the game. What happens if you fail the Captcha and you get crime points? And so then now next time you die, you go to jail and then you go on trial. Like, now this involves a gameplay loop. And so it makes the game kind of more exciting and fun. It'd be like, oh, cool, there's a trial going on. And you have trial chat because you can defend yourself, right? And then now you have a jury of the peers who are going to judge you and give you a sentence. I think things like this would be really, really cool to implement in the game. And, yes, having a Captcha in every hour or two would kind of suck a little bit, but you would get used to it after a while. And it's something that I think would help the longevity of the game overall. Another thing, too, is songbots don't appear to get Captcha hits. Like, the game doesn't recognize the songbot as doing anything wrong. So a thought would be like every time that they cast a song spell, it counts as a ticker. And so then once you get up to like 50 casts on the healing song spell or the buff song spell, then a Captcha appears for the songbot. And now if it's a real player, they'll easily do the Captcha. And again, if they fail, they get those crime points. And then once again, die, go to jail, etc., etc. So stuff like that could be really, really fun and cool to implement in the game. And then it also kind of goes into like a bounty system right there. So like if crime points are awarded, you see people that are running around killing the songbots, which then forces them to go to trial, to jail, and so forth. And then politics, like, once again, happens. So, maybe you have enough people who are, like, defending the bots and be like, no, he's cool. I don't want you to kill Jason's songbot, for example, right? Like, I like Jason. Let's let him off with an easy punishment or no punishment, etc., right? So it goes back to politics and drama. And I think there'd just be a fun gameplay loop for the game. And it definitely would help out with the bots some, in my opinion. But post your comments. Let me know down in the comment section what kind of anti-botting, cheating methods do you think the game should implement. They did implement a new monster in the castle, which I think is doing okay. Players have figured out how to kind of like bug him again. So, it only lasted about a day. But, once again, players can come in there and kill the accounts that are bugging it. I heard someone is using like a level 1 songbot to bug the bird. So just go simply kill the level 1 character, right? Like, there is gameplay. There's gameplay loops that can happen. And people just have to go do it rather than bitch and complain about this stuff. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you hadn't, and I'll see you in the next video.